Dear students, Namaste and welcome to today's English class of grade 9. Today we are in unit 15, People and Lifestyle is the title of this unit. People, okay, we know what is people, and talking about lifestyle, okay, lifestyle is the way we live. The way we live means the way we dress up, the way we eat, the way we behave with others, our manners and everything. So that is what lifestyle. Under this unit heading, unit title, today we are dealing with reading 1, reading comprehension, the diary of a young girl. Diary. Do you keep diary? Do you write diary? Some of you may write, right? Okay, so diary writing, what does it mean? Diary writing means to write about our daily account, daily activities, whatever we do daily. So if we keep it as a record, that is called diary writing. And here we are going to read about the diary of a young girl. Okay, so this is our reading title. Look at here. So before starting reading text, let's start with getting started activities. The first activity given over here is look at each pair of pictures and talk about the differences with your classmates. Look at these two pictures carefully given in your book. Okay, so I hope you are aware now what is the difference. Similarity is both are classrooms. And differences? Okay, in the first picture, as we notice, the teacher is teaching using paper book. And students are also reading, learning. Okay, they are studying using paper book, listening to their teacher. And the difference we find in the second picture, students are involved in learning, studying by themselves using laptops. They have individual laptops and they are studying themselves. See the difference. So this is what we can say the first picture is the traditional way of teaching and learning, and second one is modern way of teaching and learning, right? That's the difference. Now let's move to another picture. Okay, we have another two pictures. What is given in the first picture? Now let's talk. Okay, what we can see many people working. Where are they working? In the field. They are working in the field. What are they doing? They are harvesting. They are harvesting paddy, right? Harvesting, and they are using sickle to cut paddy plants themselves. Manually they are doing themselves, cutting themselves. So in the second picture, at the same time, in the second picture, this is also a picture of harvesting, but different. The way is different. What is being used here? A machine, right? Not sickle, but a machine, and chopping down. See, you can see a big blade over here, scissor type, right? And it is being cut. So which one may be the easier one? First one or second one? Second one, obviously, fast and easy. So this one is more, it is modern, and the first one is traditional way. The second one is more easy, and the first one, see, in the first picture we can see many people working. It requires strength of many people, and in the second picture only one single person is handling whole land and cutting paddy. So this is the difference we find in these two pictures. So this is also related with lifestyle of people. Somewhere people, they have to work themselves in a traditional way. Now the lifestyle is being replaced by machines, and it has made our life easier. Now we are moving forward to reading one, text one, reading one. Look at the picture and answer the questions. Okay, look at this picture, this young girl. Okay, look at this girl. And now answer some questions. What do you think the name of the girl is? Do you recognize her? Who is she? What is the name of this girl? Next question is, what do you think made her so popular? Okay, who is she? She is Anne Frank. And what made her so popular? She's so popular in the world. Okay, yes, her diary. Her diary made her so popular in the world. Okay, now we are going to read some extract of her diary, not the whole diary, extract of her diary in our today's class. Okay, now look at here. The diary of a young girl. Okay, let's read this. It is about Saturday, June 20th, 1942. 1942, if you remember, this time is related with Second World War, okay? The time when Second World War occurred. So she was writing diary then, okay? She belonged to that time. And this is the events of her life. Now let's read it, okay? Writing in a diary is a strange experience for someone like me. Okay, she is pouring her feeling. This is her diary and she is pouring down her feeling, what she felt. And she found writing diary is strange. Not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old schoolgirl. Okay, she finds diary writing is strange to her because she has never written, one reason, and another is no one will be interested to read her about her. She thought like that. She thought like that. So musings means deeply thoughtful, thoughts, her thoughts. Her thoughts, people may be or may not be interested according to her. Oh well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to her. It didn't matter to her. I feel like writing, and I have an even greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. So she felt like writing and she wanted to write, to uh, pour down whatever came into her chest. She wanted to take that out, okay, pour that out. To where? To the diary. Then let's continue about it. Paper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed. Another thing she thought was paper. So when we share things with people, they might not have patience to listen everything to your friend, family, or something else, other people's feelings. But if we write everything in the paper, so it has the patience according to her. So she could write, she could pour down whatever feeling comes to her. So she thought that paper has more patience because she could pour down anything. I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in the hands. She was sitting like this, chin in the hand, bored, listless, lethargic, showing no enthusiasm. She was bored, no enthusiasm at all, wondering whether to stay in or go out. I finally stayed where I was brooding, deeply thoughtful. She was thinking something. She was in a thought at that time, but boring as well. She was feeling boring, and so she decided to sit inside finally. Yes, paper does have more patience, and since I'm not planning to let anyone else to read this stiff backed notebook, stiff backed, having a stiff back, a thick covered notebook, grandly referred as a diary, unless I should ever find a real friend, it probably won't make a difference, a bit of difference. So she poured down, wrote everything into the diary. She thought she could express everything over there. In this stiff-backed, hardcover diary, she wrote notebook. She wrote everything gradually, and yes, it was a diary. And she would never give. She did not want to read that diary to others to read, but she could share it if she found a real friend. That means she didn't have a real friend at that time. Now I am back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. Okay, prompted and inspire. Okay, she was inspired to keep diary because she said, I don't have a friend. She didn't have a friend, so she started to keep diary. She started to share her things in the diary. Let's continue next paragraph. It's okay. It starts. Let me put it more clearly. Since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world. And I'm not. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister. Okay, she talks about her family in this paragraph. She talks about her family, who are there in her family, her sister, 16-year-old sister, and there are about 30 people. 30 people I can call friends. Friends, I have a throng of admirers, loving. Okay, throng is a crowd of people, and adoring is loving. Okay, the word that is coming. Throng of admirers who can't keep their adoring eyes off me. That means loving eyes. She had a very close family and relatives who likes her, who loves her. Adoring eyes of mean they cannot even they cannot even close off their eyes. They are not tired of looking at her. That means they are not tired of looking at hers, and who sometimes have resort to using a broken pocket mirror to try and catch a glimpse of me in the classroom. Even they fall back. They use resort is that means fall back. Even they use a broken piece of mirror to look at her from the reflection. You see the reflected, and people look at her like that. How people, this line shows that how people used to love her. People used to love her a lot. People mean family and her close relatives, friends. I have a family. Okay, she says, I have a family, loving aunts, and a good home. She had everything: family, loving aunt, good home. No one on the surface, I seem to have everything. Superficially, everything was okay. She had everything. Except my one true friend. Except one true friend. So she wanted a true friend. She did not have a true friend, so she wished she could have a true friend. All I think about when I am with friends is having a good time. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary everyday things. So when she is with friends, she could talk about everyday ordinary things, usual things, but something what she wanted to share from by heart, she could not share with friends because she did not have a true friend, close friend at that time. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. She did not feel close with any of the friends at that time. Maybe it's my fault that we don't confide. Confide means to tell somebody secrets and personal information. So she wanted some uh, partner with whom she could share her even secrets with her partner, with her friend. She wanted that type of friend in each other. In any case, that's just how things are, and unfortunately, they are not liable. Liable is likely to do something to change, and her friends were not ready to change for her. This is why I have started the diary. That's why she started writing diary. That means the main reason is she did not have a true friend with whom she could share her feelings and everything. Okay. To enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination, I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary. So, friend, she treated diary as a friend, imaginary friend, not the real human being, but imaginary friend. So, she didn't want to just jot down, just to write down something quickly, facts. She did not want to write facts, but I want the diary to be my friend. So she wanted diary as a friend, not the record of the factual thing only. She wanted to have a friend. That's why she called this diary. I'm going to call this friend Kitty. Okay, she regarded diary as her friend and named as well. What's the name? Kitty. Okay, what a pretty name, right? Kitty. She called it Kitty. Since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty if I were to plunge right in, get into something, plunge is get into something, plunge right in, I would better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. Okay, so what she was going to do in the diary at first is what giving a brief sketch of short introduction of her life and family. She didn't like to show that much, write that much, but even then she was going to do so. Okay, let's continue. My father. Okay, so she started writing about her own background, about her family. My father, the most adorable, attractive, that means attractive father I have ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. That means her parents got married at the age of when her father was 36 and mother was 25. They got married then. My sister, okay, she is introducing her parents and then sister one by one, family members. Her sister, my sister Margaret, was born in Frankfurt am Main in Germany. So she was born in Germany, her sister, in 1926. I was born on June 12th, 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. So 4 years they lived there in Germany, Frankfurt, because we are Jewish. Okay, they are Jewish, particular community. They were called Jewish. And my father immigrated to Holland in 1933. Then immigrated Immigrated, Jewish is relating to Jews. Jews are called Jewish community. Immigrated and migrated Holland. Then her father migrated to Holland. They were in Germany, then went to Holland in 1933 when he became the managing director of the Dodds Opta, okay, Opta company. So this is a company name, Opta company name, where her father used to work. He became managing director over there, which manufacturers products used in the making jam, and in that company jam was manufactured. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margot and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. So father, mother, both of them migrated. That's why they were sent to, both sisters were sent to their maternal uncle's home. Margot went to Holland in December and I followed in February. And then later on, they were also called there. They also went. When I was plunked is to sit heavily and carelessly down on the table as a birthday present for Margot. So she also followed Margot to Holland, and she reached later on as a birthday gift. She went there to Margot. Let's continue. I started right away at the Montessori nursery school. So life was normal then. Till then it was fine. She even got admitted in nursery school. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time I started first grade. In 6th grade, my teacher was Mrs. Cuperas, the principal. Principal name was Cuperas. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said a heartbreaking, sorrowful, it was sorrowful farewell, because I would have been accepted at the Jewish Lyceum, where Margot also went to school. Okay, so Margot also studied there, and she also studied in the same school, and while separating, it was very hard for them. Our lives were not without anxiety, worry. It was not without anxiety, worry life was in worry, life was in trouble. They did not have normal life like other people because it was time of war. Since our relatives in Germany were suffering, okay, the reason was in Germany people were suffering, her relatives. Why? Because of Hitler's anti-Jews laws. So Hitler belonged to Nazi, and they did not like Jews, and life of Jews was very tough at that time. After the pogroms means that there was massacre of particular ethnic group, killings of the people, particular group were killed there in the Germany in 1938. So 2 uncles, my mother's brother, maternal uncles, they fled Germany, and finding safe refuge in North America, they went to North America to live. My elderly grandmother came to live with us, and grandmother came to live with them. She was 73 years old at that time. Okay, it was about that event. Then after May 1940, the good times were few and far between. Less good times were there. First there was the war, then capitulation, surrender, arrival of Germans. So life was really troublesome for Jews. Their freedom was seized because there were lots of restriction for the Jews people. Anti-Jews decrees, it calls announcement, the time was not favorable for Jews people. It was very hard for them. Jews, they were required to wear yellow star. Okay, they were required to wear yellow star, and Jews were required to turn in their bicycles. They had to use bicycles, not the cars. There were many things which was forbidden. They were not allowed to do. Jews were not allowed to, excluded, forbidden to do many things, like they were not allowed to use their car. They had to come in bicycle, and time restriction was also there. 3 to 5 p.m. They had to do shopping between 3 to 5 p.m. and they need to only visit the barber shop. They need to get their hair cut in a barbers in only the owned by Jewish people, and they can go out on the street only 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. time. So time restriction was there for them, and Jewish people were not allowed to use theaters, movies, and then even they were not allowed to go for swimming and tennis, hockey, so many all entertaining activities. They were not rowing boats. They were not allowed to do those all sorts of activities like athletic games, public places, to be in the public places, and they were even forbidden to go to Christians' homes, and they only had to attend Jewish school. Jewish people only had to go to Jewish school, and life was really terrible of Jewish people. And Jack always said them, I don't care, I don't dare to do anything more because I'm afraid, not allowed. So they have very insecure life, so they could not think about their own progress and their life. So Jewish people were suffering in that way. And she continued her diary, like in 1941 her grandma got sick and she had to go through operation. So her birthday was also very light, it was not so great, celebration was not there. And in 1940 her birthday was she could not celebrate her birthday properly because fighting had just ended in Holland, and her grandma died in 1942. No one knows how often I think her, I still love her. So she used to love her grandma very much. And the birthday celebration in 1942, her birthday celebration in 1942, it was intended to make up for the others, and grandma's candle was lit in along with the rest. Means her grandma passed away and people wished for that. She could not celebrate her birthday properly. The four of us still doing well, four of her family members. That brings me the present date of June 20th, 1942. So 1942 and the solemn of dedication of my diary. So solemn, serious and sincere. So she could write her diary till this date. Okay, so these are the events of her life of Anne Frank. Okay, this is adapted from Diary of a Young Girl, Anne Frank. So this is only the part of it, not the whole. And this chapter gives us the view that she had a really complicated life. Okay, with this we have completed our reading task. Now we move to exercise. Okay, exercise. What's exercise? Exercises are given there. Let's go through it. Number A. The meanings of some words, phrases from Anne Frank's diary are given below. Find the words from the text and write them. Okay, so meaning is given here, like a period of reflection or thought, rigid, not soft or flexible. These are meanings. And the word clue is also given there. The first letters are given, so it's easy to guess the words. Let's do one by one. Are you ready, all of you? I hope you are ready. Okay, number A. The word that starts from M, a period of reflection or thought, is musing. Okay, it's musing. Have you guessed the same? Very good. Now let's go to number B. Rigid, not soft or flexible, that starts from S, is okay, stiff. Yes, that means stiff. Number C. To think a lot about something that makes you annoyed, anxious or upset. What is that? Brooding. Okay, yes, that is brooding. Number D. A crowd of people. Throng. Okay, number E. To make use of something, especially something bad. Okay, that starts from R. What is that? Okay, yes, resort. Okay, so these words we have already gone through. We have gone through meaning in the while explaining the text. I hope you remember all these words. Number F. To tell somebody secret and personal information. What is that? Number F starts from C. Is confide. Okay, number G. Likely to do something. What is that? Liable. Okay, H number. To get into something. Is plunge. Number I. To sit down heavily, carelessly. Is plunk. Finally, number J of A number. To write something quickly is jot down. Okay, with this we have done exercise A. Now moving towards next, that is B. It is just matching. Okay, match column A with synonyms in column B. Let's do it quickly. Okay, listless. What is the meaning of listless? Okay, this is lethargic. And this is also will be guided by the word meanings that we have gone through in reading text. Number B, adoring. Do you remember? What is it? Adoring means loving. Decree is announcement, right? What about adorable? Adorable. Okay, attractive. Anxiety, worry. Capitulation, surrender. Solemn, serious. Okay, with this matching is also over. Now let's move to number C. Answer the following questions. Okay, we have 7 questions. Let's answer one by one. Number A. Why is writing a diary a strange thing to the writer? Why? Okay, so where do we find this answer? Okay, right in the first paragraph, right? Why it is strange to the writer? It is strange to the writer because she has not written something like that before, right? Strange experience for her because she has never written anything. So somewhere the answer is like this, and we can write like she has never written anything before and none will be interested to read the diary. No one will be interested to read the diary later on. That's the answer. Okay, I have not written it in a format. This is just a clue and you have to write it properly later on. Okay, now let's move to number B. Are you ready? I hope so. Okay, what is the first reason for her to keep the diary? Okay, what was the reason? Let me show this line. Okay, particular this line. Now I am back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary. Prompted means inspire her to write the diary. What was the reason? Yes, don't have a friend. She doesn't have a real friend. She did not have a friend. That's why she wrote the diary. Moving to number C. Why is the writer unhappy despite having a loving family? She was not happy. Okay, why? Somewhere you can find answer over here. What is the answer? Okay, let me underline this. Except my own true friend. She was very longing to have a good friend, loving friend, true friend. That was the reason. Since she doesn't have a true friend. Number D. Who is Kitty? Very easy to answer, right? Who is Kitty? Over here, yes. I'm going to call this friend Kitty. Who is this friend? Her diary. Okay, yes, her diary. Number E. Why did Margaret, her sister, and Anne not go to Holland together? Why? Okay, somewhere here it was mentioned that they went to, you can see these lines. Margaret went to Holland in December and I followed in the February. So it was just written that they went, but not the region, right? So not mentioned properly in the text. Number F. Why didn't the writer have a birthday celebration in 1940? What was the reason? Why she could not celebrate it properly in 1940? She didn't do much for the birthday because the fighting had just ended in the Holland. Okay, same region. We write the same thing. Fighting had just ended in Holland. Number G. Okay, why did the writer's uncle escape from Germany? You find answer somewhere here, right? Okay, the lines. Germany were suffering from Hitler's anti-Jews laws. That was the reason. The life for Jews was not easy at that time. So how can we write it? Due to Hitler's anti-Jews laws. Moving to the next, okay, we have one more activity, number D, true or false. And sometime not given also you can write ng, not given, if information is not given properly. Number A, the writer is tired of staying in her house. Is that true or false? True, she was bored, tired. Number B, the writer wants people to read her diary. Was it true? False, right? Now number C, Edith Hollander Frank was a teacher in Holland. Is it true? No, false. Number D, the writer attended school in Germany until she was 6. No, it is also false. She stayed there until 4 only, right? 4. Number E, the family came to Germany because it was difficult to live in Holland. So it was also not mentioned. That's why we have to write ng, not given. Number F, Jews were prohibited to be on the top of their houses during daytime. Okay, this is also not clear, not given, we can write ng. And number G, there were very strict laws in Germany for Jewish people. That's true. Finally, we have a question to discuss about lifestyle. Okay, diary and lifestyle. How does a diary entry help in understanding someone's lifestyle? Explain. So, reading about Anne Frank, we came to know about how she lived, how she, her time and her way of living. Yes, diary entry helps us understanding their lifestyle because they in diary we write everything, whatever we feel, whatever we did, our daily activities, and that will obviously help us to understand the lifestyle. Okay, you can explain it some more, extend it and discuss with your friends and write it down. With this, we are done with today's lesson, reading one. I hope you enjoyed listening to it, studying to it. That's all for today. Thank you. Namaste.